All right, y'all. So we're here. Another video. I'm so proud of myself. Keeping them coming. Today is going to be a story time slight mukbang because I do have like just a little bit of leftovers from last night. I made some hamburger steaks and mashed potatoes. So I just have some leftovers from last night, but my area is not the way I want it to be. I am not in the pink/bling room, which I usually do stuff in, which was the scenery for the get to know me tag. I'm not in there. I'm in here today. Probably never going to try to do a video in here again unless I have to, like today, because I don't like how close the camera has to be to me, because like the ring light is like right on my bed, like so close to my bed, so I have to be kind of close up. But that's fine. So I can't really show y'all the food, but this is still a mukbang. It's just leftovers. Just relax. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna relax. We're gonna get into the story about how I lost my V card, and I'm also gonna add my second time ever doing it, because that was like a horror story. I never really like looked at too many YouTube videos where somebody had said like the experience I had, and I feel like people should know that, because you're going in with the expectation that, oh, it's just gonna be something light, and it end up being horrific like mine.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, man. What the fuck, man?
So yeah, but that's besides the point. We're gonna get into the story time. We're gonna start with the guy, how I met the guy. I lost my V card at 16. I'm 19 now. I'm luckily still at a place where I don't regret losing it, and I don't regret who I lost it to. I know a lot of girls that I know who I am friends with, was friends with. I know a lot of people do story times and they say they regret it or whatever case may be. I didn't regret it. I don't regret it. So the backstory about the guy, I met the guy in my 9th grade year in high school. And we became friends my 9th grade year. We stayed friends for a very long time. He's a very cool guy. We stayed friends for a very long time. We're still friends to this day. Like, we just don't talk a lot, you know what I'm saying? But we're still cool to this day. Like, if we see each other, we'll speak and whatever the case may be. But yeah, so fast forward to my 11th grade year. I think it might have been the kind of middle ending of 11th grade year. I just ended up hitting him up one day because I sat and I thought about it for a long time. That was a process of like 2 years. I sat for 2 years literally and thought about who I wanted to do it. So I ended up just being like, you know what, I'm ready. And I texted him and told him that I wanted him to be the one to, you know, introduce the girl to some new things. So he ended up being down with it, and around that time he did not live that far from me. So what we did was he just he came to my house, basically. It's a chicken salad.
Okay.
He came to my house to pick me up. So I'm trying to leave the house without anybody realizing I'm leaving the house. My mom might have been gone and my older brother might have been gone, but my oldest brother, I think he was there. But I tried to leave like when he walked into the laundry room. Somehow he ended up seeing me leave out the door. I think he was walking out of the laundry room as I was closing the door, as I was walking out the door, one or the other. So I went out there, I got in the car, and he drove off. But I did notice that my brother seen us drive off. So we leave. Now, one thing I will say could have been better about my first time. It could have been not in a car. I will say that. It could have been not in a car. But it is what it is. When you're young and you doing stuff you ain't got no business doing, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. That's just what happens. So we went back to his house, since it was like right around the corner. We were in the car, and I can't really tell you like the whole story of that stuff. He made me feel as comfortable as he possibly could. And yeah, the pain was I don't really know. Like, to me, the pain was like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 maybe. It wasn't that bad. to me. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it started to feel okay after a while. It was not that bad. So I when I was watching people's story times and they were saying that, I was like, y'all lying. Y'all know a girl is gonna be crying for weeks. But no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, we end up doing what we did, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, he made me feel very comfortable. So at the end of the day, it was time to take me home. And that's so good. This is where stuff got crazy. Y'all, I remember us riding. We was riding, so like, we was riding more so behind my house, where he was close to where he would have to turn on the street to get to my house. But when we got to that street he could turn on behind my house, my brother, the one who seen me go out the door, by this time he had called my other brother. I don't know if he was at work or like something, he had just got off, I don't know. But by this time he had called my other brother. So my other brother was there, and my other brother had called his homeboy. So now you have my oldest brother, my brother that's under the oldest brother, and you have my brother's friend. My oldest brother had his friend, and my older brother had his friend there too. So two of my brother's friends and both of them. So I see them outside. I'm like, oh no, keep going. I'm gonna just walk back to the house. You know what I'm saying? Because I can deal with the heat. I rather you not have to deal with this. So just keep going. We gonna drop me off around the corner, and I'm gonna walk the rest of the way. But when we start hitting that corner, I guess the brother who was home, he noticed the car. So he knew what car it was. Like, all right. We know who that is in that car. So, when I get to the other side of the corner to try to get dropped off, get out the car, my oldest brother is right there at the stop sign. They got in their car so freaking quick. I almost cussed just then. They got in their car so fast, literally. So they already in the cars. You got my brother in his car. You got my oldest brother in his car. You got my other brother in his car somewhere. You got my brother homeboy in his car, and you got my other brother homeboy in his car.
Oh shit!
What is going through my head is, I'm sorry, but my brothers are literally so dramatic. Because why do you need 4 people? Like, both of y'all as my brothers could have just came by yourself. Y'all didn't even need to call no homeboys. What do y'all as 4 people? Y'all need 4 people for your sister and 1 guy. So dramatic to me. It was so dramatic to me. But it is what it is. So when I end up noticing him, I'm telling the guy, I'm like, just drive. Drive and take me to a store somewhere. She started driving or whatever. So I thought a gas station at first, but then I was like, no, maybe not a gas station. So I ended up saying, okay, let's go into McDonald's and let's go to the drive-thru. So we get to McDonald's, we go through the drive-thru. Now, not my oldest, but my older brother. And I'm glad he was the one to approach, because my oldest brother, no shade to you, because you might see this video, you might watch it, but he has a habit of just being too authoritative. Like, just calm the fuck down. Calm down. Please, calm down. So I was happy that it was the older brother, because he don't come in with all that extra authoritative, oh, you're going to listen. He just come in with like a different vibe. So he ended up pulling up right behind us in the drive-thru. I'm thinking, he not going to, he going to relax. He not going to, like, really, no. This man walks up to the window, knocks on the window. I look over like, you really just gonna sit up here and do the most like this? Like, it's over with. Now it's done and over with. Like, what is y'all doing the most for? The boy was bringing me damn home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really irritated at the fact that they sat up here and did all this. Like, I guess I can kind of get the, caring for your sister and being protective of your sister and making sure she's okay. But what the? Relax. I was coming home. I'm like, literally, you could just let me come home. What was the reason? So anyway, so I finally end up, looking, and he was like, come on, get out of the car. I sat there for maybe like 5 seconds, like, I can't believe this, but let me get out of the car to avoid extra confrontation. So I go ahead and get out of the car, and I get in the car with my brother. The fact that y'all really pulled up like that, it's just crazy to me. But that's besides the point. We gonna keep this story rolling. So boom, I end up getting home. Of course, my mama know at this point that I was gone, I left or whatever. But the only person who knew that I actually did something and lost my V card was my older brother. Not the oldest, but my older brother. He knew. And I still hadn't told my mom. I didn't tell my mama. So the night kind of went kind of calmly. Nobody really did too much about the situation no more, because it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like my mom probably would have did the most if she found out, oh, you went out there and you did something. Like, yeah. So, y'all, I can't lie. The Louisiana hot sauce is like, the perfect addition. Anyway, so boom. And that was like January timing. I did not do it again till I want to say March or May. It was one of them M months. I think it was May. I finally did it again in May with the same guy. Now at this time, he's not trying to go through what he went through the last time. Totally understandable. I definitely understand it. Him and my brother was, you know, cordial. They wasn't like the best of friends, but since he was such a laid back, cool guy, like my brother was like, you know, he's cool, he's straight, whatever. So that's like the main reason he didn't really get that much heat, because my brother was like, my older brother was like telling his, you know, my oldest brother and their friends, like, oh no, he cool people, he not a bad person, he cool, you know, it's just the situation. Your sister wanted to sneak the hell out and she wanted to get some, but like, come on now, let it go, let it the fuck go, please. So yeah, so the second time he went with coming to get me, which was totally fine. At this point in time, I was comfortable with my driving, so I didn't mind driving. But instead of me driving over to where he was at, because that was just a little too close to my house for me, instead of me driving to where he was at and risk being caught, I think one of my family members knew where he lived at that point in time too. So that would have been like dumb for me to do that. So we went to my homeboy's house, and what I did was I told him I was going to my homeboy house for like a 2021 class get together, because I was in class 2021, and at that point we was getting closer and closer to my senior year. So I was like, oh, we having a 2021 class get together. That's why I told my mama. And I went over there to I told him it was like a bonfire, I think. And I went over there to my homeboy house. I told my homeboy what it was, so my homeboy knew what was gonna go on. So when the guy pulled up, my homeboy house, it was like a field over across the street from my homeboy house. So I told him to park into the field, and I was just parked in my homeboy house. So I walked over to the field, or either he picked me up and then we parked in the field, one or the other. Now, this is the second time. This is the horror story, right? So we start doing whatever the case may be. This is still very, very new to me, very fresh to me, because, I mean, it's only my second time. And we get into the, how could I say this? The back/dog position. Y'all, oh, I hope y'all don't hear my stomach. Y'all know my stomach come in every video, like, with the foolishness. But we was in the back/dog position. If y'all know, y'all know. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, you probably shouldn't be watching this, or you just need to go figure it out. You know what I mean? So we're in that position. At one point, a thrush just kind of was a little too hard for me, and something felt wrong. So I kind of like jumped up. When I jumped up, I felt like a big splat. Huh? Now, uneducated me was like, wait, did I just climax? No. The more I sat there, the more I was like, okay, this hurts. Like, mind you, I thought my, you know, cherry, I thought my cherry had popped the first time, because I did bleed after the first time. So I thought I had already went through my cherry pop phase. But yeah, so at some point he cut on the light and he's like, oh, I think I just popped your cherry. And I'm like, oh. So now I lift up and all I see is, you know, BLOOD. That's all I see. Like, it's so the more I'm sitting there, the more it's just like dropping. It's like literally literally leaking like a faucet.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Literally, I'm not over exaggerating when I tell y'all this. I'm so serious. It was literally like a faucet leaking. And at that point, I'm trying to get up now, because now I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. So I get up to try to get out of the car, and I'm just looking at the car, and it's all over the car. Like the seats, the floors, it's all over the car. Like, it looked like a crime scene. You would have thought he tried to kill me. You know, that's what you would have thought if you would have seen it with no context. You would have been like, did you just kill someone? Did you just unalive someone? That's what you would think. So I end up panicking, because now I put on my pants and everything. I'm out of the car. I put on my pants and everything. And my pants, I had some sweatpants. They were like pink and white. When I tell you them sweatpants was no longer pink and white, baby, they were red. At least the top half was red. So now I'm in shock. I'm scared. I want to cry. So I run back over to my homeboy house and I call him outside. He comes there and he's confused. He's like, what the just happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what occurred from the time of me walking in the house, seeing you go in the car, to now? Because he seen me go in the car. Like, my homeboy always made sure I was straight. So he seen me go into the car, you know what I'm saying? The dude acknowledged that he was out there. He was like, oh, that's the dude you be standing with at school. I'm like, yes, my homeboy, whatever. So he's like, what happened? Like, you know, I just seen you going to cry, and now all of a sudden we here. Like, this was going on. So he's looking at me in shock. So he's like, okay, hold up. Let me go get a towel. Perfect way to handle the situation, homeboy. I rocks with him forever for that. We still cool to this day. So yeah, he ended up going in the house to get me a towel. At this point, I'm calling the older brother. Definitely not the oldest. I'm calling the older brother at this point in time. And I'm just in panic. I can't really tell him what's going on. So he pull up with his girlfriend. And when he pull up, his anger gets directed towards me. That's when I knew. Never call him again. Never. Because he's going to make the situation worse. He was angry with me because he thought he was coming to a situation where somebody had laid their hands on me, because I was crying when I was on the phone with him. So he's thinking somebody done laid their hands on my sister or took advantage of my sister or something like that. And when I'm explaining the situation to him, it's like he just got mad. So he's like, you got to deal with it. A whole lecture. Could have left him at home. Could have not called him or whatever. So I get back in my mom's truck. I got the towel or whatever. And I get back in my mom's truck. I might still have my homeboy towel to this day. I really don't know. But I get in the truck, and at this point, I'm driving home. I call one of my closest homegirl, the girl that I had the class with when I met this dude. I call her. I'm on the phone with her, just boo crying. I'm just all over the place. And, you know, she just in shock. She can't believe what she hearing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she didn't see the whole scenery, but she couldn't believe what she was hearing. She could hear the distraught in my voice, the scaredness. I just knew at that moment my mom was finna find out. So I get home. I walk in the house. And at this point in time, my auntie and my grandma was in. They were in our city, like, for, like, staying, I guess. I think, because it wasn't no holiday. I don't think it was a holiday. I think they just came to stay for a while. And they came in. I walk in the house, and as soon as I walk in the house, my auntie wakes up, because she was right there on the couch. She wakes up as soon as I walk in the house. So my mom passed out on the couch. She wakes up. And I just look at her and I say, can you tell my mama to come outside? She panics because she sees my pants. That's the first thing she sees, so all on my pants. So she wake my mama up. My mama come out the door in a panic. She see me and my mama starts crying.
Oh my God! Wow!
Like immediately. I'm like, I'm the one hurting and you're crying. So she's crying and she's holding me. I understood her, point of view, because it's like, dang, my baby girl is not a baby anymore. Like, what? So she's crying or whatever. And I just remember I felt so cold. Like I was cold. I'm cold. I'm slightly dizzy. My mama said. So I finally go in the house. She need a minute. She's sitting there with my auntie. I go in the house. I get in the shower. As I'm in the shower, I'm washing. I'm still leaking. This might be 15, 20 to 30 minutes after the situation is over with. I'm in the shower still leaking. The water is just red. It's just red water going down the drain. So now I'm boo-hoo crying because I'm like, dude, it has not stopped. Like, every story I heard, nobody ever said this is what the hell happened or this is what they went through. So I'm shook. Really. So I get out the shower because I wasn't feeling well. And I go into my bedroom and I try to lay down. Even a like super, what's it heavy flow pad. A heavy flow pad was not protecting nothing. I was still bleeding through my clothes. That's how bad I was leaking. I'm still leaking through my clothes. A heavy protection pad did not help me. So I get up to go to the restroom to change my pad again for the 5th time. And I can't remember. All I know is I was walking to the bathroom. Next thing you know, I wake up in my bed. Mind you, during this time I had braces. So this is when I realized that I had passed out. And my grandma told me I passed out right in front of the bathroom door. My lip was stuck to my brace, like on this side. So like I still have like an issue, like when I smile, my gum will be kind of dragged down from, I guess, that impact of my braces being stuck. And I literally had to pull my gum out of my braces that night. That's all I could do. I had like a scar right here from falling, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, I think I had a scar. And that night, my mama showed her anger because when I woke up, I ended up panicking. And I was like, my lip is stuck to my brace. She's like, you need to calm down because you're the one who did it. And I'm like, why would I want to hear a lecture after waking up from falling on my fucking face? Do you think I want to hear that right now? It is a lot going on, and this is the last thing I want to hear is a lecture. I know you're mad. I know what I did. I probably shouldn't have did, but chill. Anyway, yeah, so she gave me a lecture. She was mad or whatever the case may be, and I think I bled for like 2 weeks after that, and then end up getting my period. So, but when I went to the doctor I had sucks, so I'm probably gonna have to ask one of my recent doctors about that, if that could be the reason for any like pains I be having or whatever, because he didn't even check anything. He just went straight to, okay, so we're gonna have to put you on birth control because you're doing the hanky panky. Sir, let's talk about why what happened. Was that normal? If you can tell me that was normal, I'll let it the hell go. But nobody ever told me they had a situation like that. Nobody's story ever went like that when they told me about their first time or second time or just losing it, period. So I mean, yeah, y'all can listen to me. I am one of the people who can tell you my second time was terrible. I had a lot of people telling me their second time was bad, but nobody even said their second time went the way mine did. Like, you were bleeding for darn near a whole month. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's the story of my first time and my horror story for sexual stuff. which was the second time. I haven't had a time as bad as that since. And after my second time, I went a long time without doing anything. I was just that nervous that it would happen to me again. And I was nervous that the next time it happened to me, it would happen to me by somebody ignorant and not somebody who was like, okay, I'm not going to, you know, snap and be like, ew. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the story time. I'm so happy I did another video. Now we're going on to edit, and hopefully I'll do another video tomorrow or within the next 4 days and drop it for you all. I barely ate my freaking food. I don't know how YouTube is about cussing, but listen, I barely ate my food, so I'm just gonna go chill. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? On that note, bye. I'm a hottie body, I ain't got a lot of friends. Say I'm stuck in my ways, but it really just depends. I can live in a minute.